Hi, I'm Aimee Nolte. Welcome to Aimee Nolte Music. I told you I'd be at some strange locations this week. I'm at my in-laws' house. This is their antique piano, which looks really cool, doesn't sound really cool, but it could be worse. Today, I wanted to talk about how to use a pedal point in your piano playing to create something new, like some direction, some intensity, some suspense, some tension, all those things. And I thought I'd do it on the tune My Romance. So what I've done is I wouldn't exactly call it a reharmonization of My Romance. I would just say that I've added a pedal point in a couple places of the tune to give it that tension and then release. So I'm going to play it for you. And I also hope that you can ignore the clicking cuckoo clock in the corner. Try to do that for me. So I've added it at two places, and I am going to show you my lead sheet, and I'm also going to make a PDF of my lead sheet. And if you are interested in acquiring that, you can email me at aimenolte.com. I have decided, after making so many videos, that even though at first I was trying not to write things down because I kind of thought people should learn it themselves by ear and write it down themselves, I find that a lot of people are visual learners. I don't know that I am so much myself, so I didn't really think about that before, to be honest. But I kind of get that now. People need to see things. So that's why I'm making my PDFs available. So email me if you'd like it. But this is what I've done. I've taken the first 8 bars of the tune and just given a G pedal. And I want to walk you through this, so let me bring the camera over. Okay, so here's my chart. I chose a G pedal point because it's the 5 of the key that the song is in. So the song's in C. If you choose a G, that's oftentimes a really good pedal point. So we can kind of check with the melody and see, does G work with all of these melody notes? Yes, it does. And you just use your ear to figure that out. It sounds nice. So now we need to check, that's kind of like saying, hey, melody, do we have your permission to play a G pedal point for the first 8 bars? And then we check it, and then we do. So now we're going to ask the harmony's permission. Harmony, do we have your permission to play a G under all of these chords? And I have changed some of the chords from the real chords. I've added a few different color tones just to make it more exciting. This E flat diminished is one, this B is another one, and these are problematic. We know that G is not a scale tone in the key of B, so that might be problematic. We also know that G does not show up in the E flat diminished chord. So the only way for us to check the harmony's permission, in my opinion, I mean, we could look at it in terms of modes and, scales and things like that. But I think you can come across a much quicker solution just by using your ears. So we're just going to test it. We're going to play all of these chords. Here's the E minor chord. Here comes the E flat diminished chord. Listen to the G on the bottom. I think it's fine. Don't you think that's fine? Yes, it's fine. Here's the D minor 7, and here comes a B chord. There's something about the continuity of having a G already going on, and then that it keeps going on, that just kind of makes it okay to hold on to it, even on these chords where you wouldn't think it is. Now, this is just kind of a trick of mine. Sometimes, instead of playing a G7 chord, if you just go up the major third from G to B and play a major triad, especially, actually only, I think, if you've got the B in the melody, it can sound so pretty. So that's how I think of this, is a B over G. It's just a little trick from me to you. I mean, it shouldn't work because this should be a G7 chord, and an F sharp in the key of G7, that should not sound good. But with this G pedal going on, for some reason, I think it just sounds beautiful. So again. Okay, and here comes another one. We need an E7 chord to lead us to A minor. So I've chosen to just keep the E7, but alter it so that it has a sharp 9, which is the G. Okay, like that, and it sounds great. Now we've got an A minor 9 chord. This still works, even though that's a major clash with the G sharp and a G. It's a major clash, but I think it works. And then this A7 chord, I've added a flat 5 and a flat 9. I just think it's pretty. And here on a G7 chord, what should normally be a G7 chord, I've made it a sus flat 9 chord. I'll show you how to do that. All right, so we've got all these chords that go along and they sound so intense. But then what do? We just play a 2-5 to the normal old F major. And that's our release. We've built all this tension here, and now we have a release. I think it's so nice to have a release. And this whole middle part of the song, these next 8 bars can be just our pretty release. And then I bring it back for these 8 bars, and then we take it away for these 8 bars. So we've got tension, release, tension, release. Let me show you on the keyboard. And this part is almost the exact same as this part. So I don't think I need to show it again. But let me show you on the keyboard how I'm voicing these chords. All right, here we go with the C major 7 chord. I'm just gonna put it there, all right, so that we're gonna keep the melody on top. I better nudge my camera a little bit, huh? Okay. And then I change to an F6, just like that. Right back to it. And then here's the E minor. We got our B on top because it's the melody. Then here's a C and our E flat diminished chord. Here's a D7, D minor 7, and here's a B chord. And here is the C major 7 again. Or we could do there, either way is okay. Keep the melody. That's the E7 altered chord. There's the A minor 9. And I think this motion is important in these chords. G to G sharp to A even. And here's the A7 flat 5 flat 9. Here's the G7 sus flat 9. Okay, there's our sus note. That means there's no third in the chord. It's a 4. And I've got my 7, which actually isn't quite necessary. You don't really need the 7. I think these are the most important notes. There's the flat 9. Okay. And then we're just easy to the rest of the tune. Here comes our tension again. Release. really cool thing about these chords is that, and this gets a little more advanced, but if you've got neat chords like this that build tension, it can give you a jumping off place for solos. So if you go back to the beginning of the song for solos, now you're not just soloing over C, F, D, G, right? We've got all these other chords that we added over a pedal point, so it can give you a jumping off place to have a really exciting solo. That's just one idea, using triplets, just moving over all of those chords. Just having those chords in your brain can give you new ideas for your solo, so that's really cool too. And you can just keep building. Release. I think that's nice. Nice melodic solo here. And then you can move back into your tension. It's really cool. Now, I still condone knowing every note that you play and making sure that you can sing all of these notes and hear them in your ear, even if you're going to play fast and you're going to play crazy and kind of outside. I would still practice my point and sing method. If you haven't watched my point and sing video, please go do that. And I would still try to sing all of these notes to make sure that I'm actually being honest in my playing. But I do like that idea of building tension through the pedal points in your solo and then having some release and going back to more of a melodic solo. 8 bars of this, 8 bars of that. I think it's really nice. So there you have it. That's my romance with a pedal point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like the PDF, again, just email me and I will send it to you. Aimee@yahoo.com. All right, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you next time.